So welcome to the next section of unsymmetrical bendings. So previously we have funded Mohr circle, how graphically we have to represent the Mohr circle with respect to the neutral axis, with respect to the principal axis ixx, iyy and ixy, product of inertia. So now definitely any type of sections, if the load is acting vertically, then definitely it is going to come up with some stresses, and that stresses now we are going to find out in an beam sections, how that stresses are going to develop. And so first thing is we are going to find out the stresses in an unsymmetrical bending of an beam, and then we will find out the position of neutral axis. So when the bending is going to come up, it is going to tilt into some direction, nothing but this is an symmetrical section. So when inclined way, so in this, so this is of central axis, in an inclined way the load W it is going to act, it is going to, so this is on central line, it is going to tilt up into in this direction. So when it has tilt up, its axis is going to change. So when the axis is going to change, so here with respect to this axis, this some xy axis, so with respect to this axis we have to make position of neutral axis. And similarly we have to find out when the load is acting in this, for example if we consider this is an beam section, if the load is acting in this way, the bending moment we are going to get in this way. Similarly if this is the section, if the load is acting here, nothing but the changing position is this. If the load is acting here, if the load acting in this direction, then the beam's deflection is going to get in this way. Similarly if the load is acting in this way we are going to get the deflection. So these differences we are going to study in today class. So first we will find out what are the stresses they are going to develop in an beam section. So first we will find out the stresses in an beam of unsymmetrical bending. So for this section what I am going to do, I am going to select one beam or circular section, and I am going to make some cross section. So for that now I am going to take one beam section, cross section I am going to do for a circular beam. This is of circular beam and this is of centroidal axis, make it as O, and then this centroidal axis name it as XX and this is as YY. When the load is acting in, so consider when the load is acting in an inclined position, nothing but if it is acting in this way, nothing but when the load is acting in the position of like this, it is going to tilt into in this direction and new axis is going to develop. So consider the new axis like this. So this is of new axis, so make it as U and this is as V. So with respect to this new axis, so here some theta is going to develop and here also some theta is going to develop. So definitely when the load is acting on any section, definitely some moment is going to develop. So if consider the load is acting towards y axis, so if here the load is acting, definitely there is some moment is going to act on this section. So if the moment is acting, then we have to find out what are the moments are going to come up in the U and V. So for that just consider one triangular section. So first I will consider some moment here. So this is of moment M I am going to consider here, and the with respect to this the V portion I have considered here, and the M, so this is the U we are going to have now. So I am going to place, to complete this triangle I am going to place U in this way, and this is the theta. So from this the value of sin theta can be written as opposite by hypotenuse. So here opposite is U and hypotenuse M, U by M. So from this the value of U, so here the value of U can be written as U is equal to m sin theta. Similarly, cos theta is equal to adjacent by hypotenuse, that is equal to v by m, that is equal, from this the value of v is equal to m cos theta. So place these moments here. So in the u you are going to get the value of m sin theta, moment m sin theta, and in the v component we are going to get the value of m cos theta. So now we have to find out the bending stresses. So similarly, with the help of in the second unit we have find it with the help of we know that m by I is equal to sigma by y. So the stresses we are going to find out with respect to sigma. So therefore sigma is equal to m by I by y. So with respect to this equation, now we are going to find out the stresses. So here we have find out the moment for the u and v. For the u and v we have find out the moment, and I is nothing but, so when the moment m is acting in this way, for this the moment of inertia will be v plane, I v will it come. Similarly, when the moment is acting in this m cos theta way, the moment of inertia will be I u plane, and the y bar will be same for both the conditions. So now we will find out the moments. So first we will find out the stresses along the plane u we will find out. So now the stresses along u is equal to, with this express, m is equal to m sin theta divided by, it is acting on the plane of vv, I vv with respect to u, m sin theta by, so here y can be written as u value. So here I have written the u. Similarly, stresses at vv plane can be written as m cos theta by I u into v. So like this the stresses are going to come up. So now what we have to do, the resultant stresses we have to make. The resultant stresses is nothing but where both the conditions are going to get equalized. Now therefore resultant stresses sigma b is equal to, so both the u and vv we have to make. So m sin theta by I vv into u plus m cos theta by I u into v. So in this the common term is m. Check on the common term, then m of u sin theta by I vv plus v cos theta by I u, and from the previous derivation we know that u is equal to x cos theta plus y sin theta. This we have derived in the previous derivations, and v is equal to y cos theta minus x sin theta. So this is the stresses which are acting in an unsymmetrical sections. So now, so the stresses we have found out. So next we have to find out the position of neutral axis we have to find out. So now we will find out the position of neutral axis. So position of neutral axis we have to find out. So position of neutral axis is nothing but where the moment is going to get 0, that is known as position of neutral axis. Nothing but resultant bending stresses will become 0. So this is the resultant bending stresses sigma. So if this resultant bending stress is equalized to 0, there the position of neutral axis is going to come up. So then what you have to do, this resultant has to be 0. So therefore m of u sin theta by I vv plus v cos theta by I u is equal to 0. If the resultant bending stress is 0 at the neutral axis, then the neutral axis can be defined. So from this, if you are going to, if the m is going to go this side, it will become 0. So then u sin theta by I vv is equal to minus v cos theta by I u. So from this, if you are going to take v is equal to, minus sign will be here itself, if you are going to take the value of same v here, then it will become v. If you are going to take the cos theta and sin theta will go this side, then I uu by I vv into sin theta by cos theta into u it will come, and so minus sign I have taken to this side. Then therefore this v can be written as, so sin by cos can be written as tan minus u into tan theta minus I uu by I vv. So this equation can be written as, therefore v is equal to minus I uu by I vv into tan theta of u. So this equation is in the form of y is equal to m into x. So m is nothing but this moment, x is in the form of u, y can be written as v, and or it can be written as v is equal to m into u can written. So therefore the moment we have to find out here, moment is nothing but, m is nothing but slope. So therefore m is equal to minus I uu by I vv into tan theta. So this m is nothing but slope of our section. So now to find out the value of neutral axis, what I am going to do, consider tan alpha is equal to, so say tan alpha is equal to minus I uu by I vv into tan theta. So from this the value of alpha we have to find out. Alpha is nothing but neutral axis. Therefore from this, therefore alpha is equal to tan inverse. If I am going to take tan inverse other to that side, then tan inverse of minus I uu by I vv into tan theta. So theta value we know that it will given in the question itself. Alpha is nothing but neutral axis, nothing but, if you are going to consider this is an, so this is of central axis. When the load is applied, the new axis is going to come up, that is of uu and vv. So with respect to these thetas, we are going to with respect to iuu and iv, we are going to find out the value of alpha. So that alpha will tends, if it is positive it is going to come in positive lane, if it is negative it is going to come in a negative lane. If the value is going to come up positive, it is going to come in this way. So this is position of neutral axis that we have to define in the problems. So the position of neutral axis we have defined. So next we have to find out the deflection in the beams, we have to find out unsymmetrical beams we have to find out. So now we will find out the deflections. So deflection of beams in unsymmetrical sections, deflection of beams in an unsymmetrical section. So for this the same figure we are going to consider. So if you are going to consider one circular section, so this is of centroidal axis x, and this is of y, and from this same the previous figure, if the coordinates x coordinates of u, v are going to come up, and this is of w sin theta, and this is of w cos theta, and here we are going to get the theta and theta we are going to get. So now with respect to this load, the deflection here for this section we are going to get in this way. Similarly with respect to this load, in this uu axis we are going to get the deflection is delta we have to find out, nothing but with respect to w sin theta, here we are going to get a deflection of delta u you are going to get. Similarly with respect to w cos theta, we are going to get a deflection of dou v, delta v we are going to get. So this delta u and delta v we have to find out, and with respect to the resultant stresses, nothing but the the load w where it is acting on the horizontal vertically, with respect to that we are going to get some resultant deflection we are going to get. So that resultant stress deflection is in between delta V and delta U. So that is denoted with delta. That is denoted with, this is the resultant deflection, original deflection, and I am going to make some angle in between this. So that angle is beta. I am going to denote it with beta. So that we will see in other. So now we have to find out the values of delta U and delta V. We have to find out. So where delta E is equal to deflection due to W sin theta. Similarly, delta V is equal to deflection due to W cos theta. So now we will find out the value of delta U. Delta U is equal to, so from this, so the delta U can be written as K of W sin theta into L cube by E I V V. So how this equation has came, now we will define. So for a simply supported section, what is the deflection? How much the value of deflection? How much you are going to get for the simply supported wind? The value of deflection will get W L cube by 48 EI we are going to get. So from this, the constant value is 1 by 48 into W L cube by EI we are going to get. So here the value of 148 is nothing but the value of K here. Similarly, next W is nothing but this value W sin theta, whichever it is. Similarly, L cube is same. Here E is same. IVV is nothing but with respect to the axis, whichever it is. If it is with respect to UU, here you have to place this UU. Similarly, it is for simply sum. Next, if it is of a fixed cantilever section, some different sections are going to come up. So based on that, the K value is going to get differ. Similarly, here it is of simply supported section, that's why I given them. Similarly, next delta V is equal to same K into W sin theta into L cube by E I UU it will get. Right. Next, what you have to do? The resultant deflection we have to find out. Therefore, resultant deflection nothing but delta U plus delta. Therefore, delta is equal to root of delta U whole square plus delta V whole square. If I am going to make that, that is equal to, therefore delta is equal to root of K into W sin theta into L cube by UU whole square plus K into W cos theta into L cube by E IV into whole square. So from this, if you see here, the common terms are K L cube by E, that is the common term. So take out the common term, then this can be written as K L cube by E whole square of W sin theta by sin theta by, here it will come, here I written sin theta, it is of cos theta IUU, cos theta of IUU, and this is V. So just it note down, sin theta by IVV plus cos theta by IUU whole square it will come. So if you are going to take this value to outside, the square will get cancelled out, and for this term the square is going to remain. So next we will go next for that condition, what we will do? Therefore, the delta is equal to, if I am going to make the KW L cube to outside, the square will get cancelled out, the remaining term will be in the outside inside sin square. If I am going to apply square to that, I square VV plus cos square theta by I square UU we are going to get. So this is the deflection formula we are going to get. So now in previously this is the deflection which I have got with respect to the resultant stress. Now in between this, the angle of beta it is going to make. So what is this angle we have to find out, that angle beta we have to find out. So for that I am going to consider the triangle. So this is of delta V and here delta U it is going to be. In between this, the resultant delta it is going to come up, it is of angle beta. So from this if I am going to consider the value of tan theta, therefore from this triangle, if you consider this triangle, here you consider delta u, here it is of delta v. From this tan theta is equal to opposite by hypotenuse, sorry, opposite by adjacent. Opposite is delta u and adjacent is delta v. So we know the delta u value, that is k into w sin theta by e I v v into L cube divided by k into w cos theta by e I u u into L cube. So here L cube k I e will get cancelled out. Then from this the equation can be written as sin theta by I v v into I u u by cos theta it will come. Then from this, therefore, sorry, this is of tan beta, tan beta here. Therefore tan beta is equal to I u u by I v v into sin by cos, it will become tan theta. Therefore beta is equal to tan inverse of I u u by I v v into tan theta. So this is the beta angle which is made at this section. So like this, the for an unsymmetrical beam section, the stresses we are going to find out, and similarly how the position of neutral axis is going to come up, and the deflection how it is going to come up. Like this we have to find out. So now we have completed the derivation. So now we will see some example problem how to calculate the position of neutral axis and similarly the deflection in an sections. So for this we have considered one example problem. Calculate the stresses at the corners of an rectangular section of a simply supported beam, it has given, of span 5 meters, which carries a load of 4 kilonewton at the center of the span. At the center of the span it has given. Similarly, the load line is inclined at an angle of 30 degrees. So at the center of span it is acting, but it is inclined at 30 degrees to the vertical longitudinal plane as shown in the figure. So like this the load is going to incline. It is of 4 kilonewton as given. Now we have to find out the stresses we have to find out. So first we will write down the given data. So the given data is given, the length is given as 5 meters, that is equal to 5000 mm as given. Similarly, load W as given, that is of 4 kilonewton, that is equal to 4000 newtons, and the type of beam is simply supported beam as given. So now for this condition the stresses we have to find out. So the stresses formula, these are the stresses we have found out in the previous condition. The stresses formula we will see now. Where here in the derivation we have seen stresses is equal to m sin theta by I u v into u, m cos theta by u into v. So with respect to this formula we have to find out the stresses. So from that, sigma is equal to m cos theta by I xs. So here the uu I have written as xs and vv I have written as vv into y plus m sin theta by I y into x. So that is simple. If it is going to make in this way, it is going to come in this axis. So I am going to consider this as xs and this is as yy. So when here it is going to get m cos theta. So here, so this is of symmetrical section we are going to find out. If here you are going to get m cos theta and here I am going to get m sin theta. So when m cos theta is going to m cos theta of load is going to get, the section is Ixs, and similarly m sin theta is going to add, the section is Iyy with respect to x it is going to get. So like this the equation is going to we have to frame. So this is of symmetrical section, for symmetrical section. Then here we don't know the value of m, we don't know Ixs, we don't know, and x and y also we don't know. So now we will find out the values of Ixs. First we will find out the Ixs. First we will find out the moment. What is the moment we are going to? So here the section is given as simply supported beam. So for simply supported beam, the maximum bending moment formula m is equal to WL by 4. So that is equal to, we know the W, that is of 4000 into L value is 5000 divided by 4. So by calculating this, we will get the value as 5 into 10 to the power of 6 Newton mm we are going to get. So angle he has given, so theta he has given as 30 degrees. So now we will find out the values of Ixx and Iyy we will find out. So therefore Ixx is equal to, it is of rectangular section, the formula will come BD cube by 12, that is equal to 40 into 50 cube by 12. So here the section is 40 by 50, 40 into 50 cube by 12. So the value will get 416.66 will get 416.66 into 10 to the power of 7 will get, and it can be written as 4.167 into 10 to the power of 5 mm power 4. Next, similarly we have to find out Iyy. So it will become dB cube by 12, that is equal to 50 into 40 cube by 12. So the value will come as 2.67 into 10 to the power of 5 mm power 4 we will get. So the values of Ixx, Iyy, m and theta we have known. So next what you have to do, we have to substitute these values in this bending equation. Then therefore sigma is equal to, m value is 5 into 10 to the power of 6 into cos 30 degrees divided by Ixx value is 4.167 into 10 to the power of 5 plus m value is 5 into 10 to the power of 6 into sin 30 divided by 4.167 into 10 to the power of 5 we are going to get. So by calculating the total value, we will get the value of sigma as 10.39. Here the values of y and x are, we are going to have y and x, 10.39 into y plus 9.36 into x we are going to. So from this the equation came as sigma is equal to, the bending stress sigma is equal to 10.39 into y plus 9.36 into x it has come. So now we have to find out the stresses where it is going to get maximum and minimum we have to find out. The maximum stresses we have to find out. So for this, the y and x we have to calculate. If you see the figure, so this is of rectangular section and here this is of coordinate axis, and this is of y and this is of x section. So here the x, this is of x is of, so this is of 50 mm he has given, this is of 40 mm. So from the figure it is clear that x bar is equal to 40 by 2. So it is of 40 by 2, it will become 20 mm. Similarly y bar is equal to 50 by 2, that is equal to 25 mm we are going to get. But one thing we have to note on, where the maximum stresses are going to come up, that we have to find out. So here we are going to have A, B, C and D, 4 corners we are going to have. At the 4 corners we have to find out. If you see this is an coordinate axis, if you are going to consider at the point of A, both the x and y in are positive. At point B, the coordinate x is in an negative and the y is in an positive. Similarly at the coordinate C, both the conditions are negative, and here the x value is positive and the y value is negative. So by substituting these conditions in the value of x and y, we will get the required stresses, maximum stresses where it is going to get, maximum and minimum we are going to get. So now we will see. So the equation we have get sigma is equal to, sigma is equal to 10.39 into y plus 9.36 into x. So first we will substitute the first coordinate. So at point A, the x will be 20 and the y will be also plus 20. Now we will substitute these equations in this. So by substituting that, at sigma A we are going to get 10.39 into 25 plus 9.36 into 20. Then the sigma value we are going to get 446.95 Newton per mm square we are going to get. So it is in an positive, I am going to consider it as in an compression zone. Similarly, at point B, if you are going to get the x value is minus 20 and the y value is plus 25, we are going to get. So just substitute these values in this equation, then sigma B we are going to get 10.39 into the value is 25 plus 9.36 into the value is minus 20. If I am going to multiply this value, we are going to get the value as how much we will get? The value will get minus 72.6 Newton per mm square we are going to get. So if it is negative, we are going to consider it as a tensile state. So depend upon the figure, we can make compression and tensile. So if you are going to consider, if the load is acting in this way, I am going to then it is going to bend up in this section. Then I am going to consider the upper zone in an compression and this is in an tensile part. Depend upon the figure figure loading, then you consider any section. In some textbooks they will consider negative as compression and positive as tensile. Depend upon the figure shape, we have to consider. And now I am going to consider positive as compression, negative as tensile section. So similarly, at the C part we will find out x will be minus 20 and y will be minus 20. So by substituting that, the value of sigma C will get 447.95 Newton per mm square we will get. Similarly, at D, if you are going to substitute, now x is 20, y is minus 25, we are going to x will be at D point, x will be 20. So this is of D point now. Here x will be 20 and y will be minus 25. By substituting that, the value of sigma D we are going to get as 72.6 Newton per mm square we are going to get. So with the help of this, the maximum minimum we have to draw in the figure. So nothing but, so this is of figure now. So at the A point the value is 446.95 and at the B point it is 72.6 minus, and here it is of 72.6 and here it is of, sorry, this is of 72.6 and here it is minus 446.95, we are going to get sigma C. So then here the maximum stresses are going to come up and here the minimum stresses are going to come up. If they are going to ask in the question, then you mention this figure. If not, you need to find it, you can find it up to here. You need to mention this figure. If they are going to ask the maximum, find out the maximum and minimum stresses, then the maximum stresses is sigma A and the minimum stresses is sigma C, like, or sigma B and sigma C, like that you have to make in the problems. Next we will go with this another example problem. So now for rectangular section we have seen. So now we will see for the I section how the stresses are going to develop in an I section, we will see. So for that, so the section has given, so see here, here the problem he has given us a cantilever I section of length 2.4 meters he has given. So length he has given as 2.4 meters subject to a load of 200 newtons at free end as shown in the figure. So here 200 kilonewton it is loading at the free end. Determine the resultant bending stresses at corners A and B on the fixed section of cantilever. So here he has given it is of cantilever section. So cantilever I section he has given. So at the free end the W load is acting on the section. The resultant stresses we have to find out from this figure. So similarly, first we go with the whatever the conditions he has given. So the length he has given as 2.4 meters. So here the dimensions are there, 30 mm in the way, this is of 2.5 and this is of 2.5, this is of totally 45 mm. So the total depth of the I section is 50 mm. This is of 2 mm. Length he has given as 2.4 meter, that is equal to 2400 mm. Similarly, load he has given as 200 newtons he has given. So beam type condition he has given as cantilever he has given, and the location is of free end. So if the beam condition is cantilever, what is the maximum moment we are going to get? First we will find moment. So the maximum bending moment M will come as W into L due to the free end. W into L, the W is 200 newtons, the L is of 2400. So the value will get 4,80,000 we will get 4,80,000 Newton mm we will get. So now the symmetrical with respect to the stresses formula is sigma is equal to m cos theta by Ixx into y plus m sin theta by Iyy into x. So this is depend upon figure. If you see the figure, if the load is acting in this direction, this is of m sin theta and this is of m cos theta. M cos theta into Ixx, m sin theta into Iyy into x component. Like that we have to frame the formula. Then from this we have calculated the value of m. Now we will calculate the value of Ixx and Iyy. So from the figure, first I will calculate the value of Ixx is equal to. So to find out the value of Ixx, so in this axis we have to find out. So what I am going to do? I am going to consider this I section. So I am going to consider this I section as an rectangular portion. So the here the width is given as 30 mm is given. So this is of 2.5. The total is 50 mm it is, and this is of 2 mm as given. So first I will calculate for the total part and I will neglect these two conditions next. So consider this is as capital B and this this is as capital B, the depth na. So this consider this is as capital D and this is as capital B breadth, and consider this is as small b and this is as small d. So if you want to calculate Ixx value, Ixx is equal to, first we will calculate for the total for rectangular section BD cube by 12. So from the total we have to neglect this part and this part minus. So the total breadth value here it is minus from BD cube by, this is the total rectangular section. So from this the value of this and this we have to neglect. So for that condition the total breadth is 30 mm. From the 30 mm the 2 mm has to be neglected, nothing but capital B minus small b, capital B minus small b, capital B minus small b into D cube, BD cube divided by 12. Same, capital B minus small b into D cube we are going to get. So from that, for the total section 30 into 50 cube by 12 minus here b value is 30. From this the 2 mm if I am going to neglect, the total this rectangular portion value we are going to get minus 2 into D cube. D is nothing but this value, this is of 45 cube divided by 12. Then by calculating this we will get the value as 99875 mm power 4 we are going to get. So in this manner the Ixx we have to find out. Similarly next we will find out the value of Iyy. Iyy is equal to, so to calculate the Iyy value, consider an I section. So in this section nothing but in the coordinate of yy we have to calculate. Then what I will do, I will divide the total I section into 3 parts. So these 2 parts are parallel. I am going to consider this as 1 and 1 and this is of unique q, this is considered as second part. So for this what I will do, so these are in an 3 rectangular sections. The 2 sections are same, 1 section is differ. So for that 2 into, so these 2 are same na, 2 into d1 b1 cube by 12 plus this is of second part d2 b2 cube by 12. So from that we know the d and b values, 2 into the d1 value nothing but this depth value is 2.5 into 30 cube by 12 plus for this d2 the d2 value is 45 into 2 cube by 12. So the IXS value will get 1280 mm power 4 will get. So from this the IXS, IYY and the m value we have calculated, just by substituting here we will get the required stresses we will get. So next we will substitute that. So therefore sigma is equal to the m value here it has came as 4,80,000 into here the angle he has given as 20 degrees divided by 99875 into y plus 4,80,000 into sin 20 by I x value is 1 into x. So from this by substituting this we will get the equation as 4.25y plus 14.5 into x we will get. So this is the stress we will get. So from this we have to find out the maximum stresses we have to find out. If I are going to see the load is acting on the I section, so sorry, if I are going to consider this is I section, the load is acting in this way. In the problem he has given the load is acting in this way. So nothing but the section is going to have here the value of x is negative and the value of y is positive. So like that we have to consider nothing but we are going to get the only compressions in this zone and in this zone. If you are going to find out in these two zones nothing but A part and B part, we will get the required answer. Then therefore sigma, first we will find out at the sigma A at the A portion, because why we are going to find out here only, previously we have found it in the 4 parts, because there he has given to find out the stresses at the 4 corners he has given, but in this problem he has given to find out the stresses at the corner where the loading is acting. So here the loading is acting with respect to this loading, here we are going to get the 2 conditions. So then therefore at this condition the both conditions are positive. So here x bar y bar we have to find out. X bar is equal to here b by 2, that is 30 by 2, that is of 15, and y bar is equal to 50 by 2, that is of 25. So sigma A is equal to 4.52 sorry, excuse me, into 25 into 14.5 into 15. So from this the value will come as 331.19 Newton per mm square. Similarly next we will find it at the B point. Sigma B is equal to 4.52 into 25. Here the value of y is positive plus 14.5 into minus 15. Y value is x value is negative. So if I am going to sub, the value will come as minus 105.45 Newton per mm square we are going to get. So this is an compression and this is an tensile condition. So like this we have to find out for the cantilever I sections. For any I sections we have to find out the stresses like this.